Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So if you are watching this, then you know we are about to talk about things I love about Korea. Okay. So yeah, things I love about Korea. I've been living here for 7 months and it's my second time in Korea, so these are just general things that I really appreciate about the country. So number one, safety. That is my favorite thing about Korea. Safety and my standard of living here, because I'm safe. So those of you who know, who don't know, South Africa is not the safest country. We have a very high crime rate, and especially as a woman, certain things like walking around alone at night are not advisable. So I really appreciate that ever since I've come to Korea, I've been able to do that. Walk around at night. If I need to just go get something at the convenience store, it's not like, you know, should I wait till the morning, is it going to be safe? Or like, well, I don't drive in this country, but like in South Africa, I would always be paranoid if I was driving somewhere that was a bit dark or whatever the case is. Like Korea, I can walk through the dodgiest alley that is dark or whatever and feel an element of safe. There's a lot of safety, but just because I come from an unsafe country, I am still very paranoid. And what I always say to people is like, do not take the fact that you live in a safe country for granted, because as much as it's safe, there are bad people everywhere. So like Korea is just like a heck of a lot safer than South Africa, but not to say that there's no crime here. It's just that the crimes that are here for the most part are petty crimes, or like the odds of the bigger crimes happening to you is very, very slim. Like the first time I came to Korea with my cousin Tipi, so we were actually surprised because we were in a cafe, Holly's Coffee actually, and there was a guy who was working on his laptop, and then he just kind of walked out and went across the street, but he left his like laptop open on the table with his phone. Well, I think he took his phone, I don't know, but like his stuff was there, and we're like, what? And it was still there when he came back. So stuff like that is like really cool, and you can just leave things, like your delivery packages will be left outside your house and it's okay. In South Africa, that would probably not, they wouldn't be there by the time you got home. So yeah, I really appreciate how safe it is in Korea. But once again, do not take things for granted and get yourself in weird situations because you think, oh, nothing bad can happen to me here. Just the odds of something bad happening to you are very small. So, number two, what I really love about Korea is the public transportation is very reliable. Super reliable. Even on days where it is raining or snowing heavily, the odds that your bus is going to be on time is like, you know, pretty good. If it is late, it's usually like 5 or 10 minutes late, but I don't know, the way that my bus times work, it doesn't really matter because I'm always like at least 20 minutes early for where I'm going. So if we're talking about like work and stuff, social things, I'm just like, I'm gonna get there when I get there. But yeah, they're super reliable. There are like buses that obviously come more frequently than other buses. Like there's this one bus number that like literally the two buses sometimes are driving right behind each other because they're just like I don't know how it works, but just yeah, there's, if you miss the one, the other one will probably come in like the next 5 minutes or something. And then I guess depending on how busy the day is, you know, then they'll end up very close together or like very spread out apart. I don't know, but yeah, it's very convenient. It comes very frequently. It's like pretty clean. There's no eating or anything like that in a lot of the a lot of the public transportation in Korea is no eating or drinking or anything like that. And yeah, it's clean, it's accessible, it's cheap. I can take, let's say, 4 taxis in a week to work. Just one way is going to be the cost of like taking 1 Uber to like I don't know how far in South Africa, but I've done this cost analysis. I just really can't remember the numbers in it. But basically, there was a time where I was taking a lot of taxis because I kept missing the bus. I was taking a lot of taxis in this 1 week, and I worked it out, and it actually turned out to be like the same price as like 1 Uber ride in South Africa. I can't remember how far the Uber ride was, like the distance or the time, but yeah. But yeah, it's super cheap and super reliable. The third thing that I really like about Korea, that I love about Korea, is the convenience and like the speed of things. For example, there are convenience stores everywhere. If you need something, you can probably order it online, it'll come the next day, like stuff like that, like logistical things that just make your life a lot easier. The internet is super fast and there's a lot of public Wi-Fi. Like my phone is just connecting to Wi-Fi like all the time, and I'm like, okay, cool, because I finished my data pretty quickly, so that's great. And yeah, I just like, if I had to upload like an hour-long YouTube video, it can upload in 5 minutes depending on the day. That's okay. I haven't uploaded an hour long, let's say 30 minutes. It can upload in 5 minutes, depending on the day and whatever the case is. So yeah, I just really appreciate that there are a lot of little things that Korea has that makes life super convenient, like a lot of services like Kakao Pay. Instead of using like your, if somebody wants to send you money, you say, oh, just Kakao Pay it to me. So it's like paying through your WhatsApp or your, you know, whatever, WeChat or that type of app, paying through that instead of like having to now exchange bank account numbers and stuff like that. So yeah, I really like how convenient things are in Korea, and it just makes life a lot easier, as convenience does. One of the things that really marvels me, the cost of gas and electricity. Okay, electricity is constantly available. If you know anything about South Africa, you know that we have load shedding. So that is when the government decides, okay, we're gonna switch off the electricity now because you guys are using it too much, or we don't have enough electricity to distribute. So what we're going to do is, depending on the area for that day, like there's usually a schedule or something, we're gonna switch off the lights over there for 2 hours, and then over there for 5 hours, and then, you know, and then you just sit there with no electricity in the dark, with no internet, nothing, type of thing. There is no load shedding in Korea. I love that. I sometimes show off a bit about it, but yeah, I'll check my privilege. I'm sorry. Yeah, there's no load shedding, and even like for the amount of electricity I use in a month, one of my electricity bills in a month, like peak winter, where I thought I was using a lot of electricity, was like 100 rand. I don't know how much that is in won or dollars, I'll put it up there, but yeah, it was like 100 rand. I was like, why is the electricity so cheap? I was actually confused. Gas in Korea is more expensive than electricity, but even with me like switching on my heat every single day, because Korea has a ondol system, which is like underfloor heating type thing that's gas operated, and even like your geyser is gas operated, so it's a whole system. And that is more expensive than electricity, so I guess that's why you also save on electricity, because you're not using like actual electrical heaters and stuff. But yeah, gas is more expensive, but it's still like pretty cheap. Like in peak winter, my gas bill will be about 50,000 won. I'm not sure what that translates to in rands and dollars. I'll put it up here again, but I think it's still pretty cheap considering like I get cold a lot. Like I get cold and the wind blows sometimes in summer, so yeah, I don't know. Make of that what you will. But yeah, I really love the low cost of like household utilities and stuff, and I don't pay rent because I am an EPIC teacher, and EPIC teachers don't pay rent, and I don't pay for my water or my Wi-Fi. Like there's just a lot of things that I don't pay for, so my utilities are like the only things that I pay for, and they're like dirt cheap. So I really love that about Korea. And then my fifth thing that I love about Korea, there are a lot of things I love about Korea, but these are the ones that, well, I could think of when I was writing the script for this video. But yeah, these are like things that just honestly make my life a lot easier, and I really don't like to struggle. I'm not built for it. So yeah, these are not to say that these are the only things I love about Korea or anything like that. It's just that, yeah, there's a lot of things, but these are some things that I thought would be interesting to talk about. So yeah, I digress. The fifth thing that I love about Korea is the service culture, and just how nice people are when they see that you're embracing their culture. A lot of people don't have great experiences in Korea. I personally have not experienced that, and I think I owe a lot of that to the fact that I have invested so much in getting to know about Korean culture, and I think Korean people can see that type of thing. So as a result, I get like a lot of free stuff. I get a lot of like people trying to help me out. just making sure I'm okay type of thing. I really like that culture in Korea, and I think they have a word for it. Well, not necessarily for service, but just that, like, it's kind of hard to define. Like, there's no English definition, but it's just this culture of like connecting with a person on a certain level and just becoming close with the person. It's called Jong. I'll like write it there, Jong. And it's just about connecting with a person and friendship and loyalty, and just, it's kind of the Korean equivalent of Ubuntu if you're from South Africa. Ubuntu is like just community, essentially, a sense of community, and like, you know the saying, like, it takes a village to raise a child, like we are all one and together and all of that. So Jong is like the equivalent of Ubuntu, and yeah, I really like that about Korea. Like, it, you know, not everyone in the country is warm, but it makes my experience in Korea feel like I'm really welcome. Like, some lady at the bus stop giving me like anarchy, what's anarchy in a tangerine there we go, giving me a tangerine, or, you know, my vice principal, as busy as he was, my former vice principal, as busy as he was, he used to drive me home because he knew that like my house is on the way to his. Or like, even the teachers at one of my schools, they take like turns to just take me home instead of making me take the bus, you know, stuff like that. Like, people who just want to help you out, ladies at restaurants who give you free stuff because, you know, you ordered in Korean and they appreciated not having to speak English at that moment. Yeah, stuff like that. So I really like that about living in Korea. And yeah yeah, I don't know, what are your guys' thoughts? What do you think? Is there anything else that you're curious about living in Korea, that you're curious whether I like or not? Stuff like food and culture, I think it's pretty obvious that I like those things, so I didn't really mention them. But if you have any questions about stuff like that, or just anything else that is like a logistic about living in Korea that you're curious about, please leave them in the comments down below. Give this video a like, and please subscribe and hit the notification bell so that you know when I am posting. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.